Hey everybody, my name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of The Morning Show. I'm the creator, the producer, and the host of the show. We want you to check out our website. It's themorningshowwithnatalie.com. You can go to that website. You can see all about our sponsors, all about the show. You can even listen to live episodes while they're going on right there from the website. Another way to listen to the show live is go to Live 365. You can download that app and just search for The Morning Show. It's right there. Super easy. We want you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you will. That way you can keep up with what's going on The Morning Show. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, we're here today not only to honor the Kingsmen Quartet, but also to honor Ray Dean Reese, the legendary bass singer of the Kingsmen. He has been for over 55 years. Mr. Reese, when I was 7 years old, my parents took me to the City Auditorium in Jackson, Mississippi to hear the Kingsmen. I'd been to many Kingsmen concerts before, but this night would be special. It was the dream of a 7-year-old little girl to meet Big Jim Hamill. That larger-than-life character on stage had captured me, and I was spellbound. When we got inside the auditorium and we went to the area where the tables were set up, I went straight to the Kingsmen table in my brand-new dress and shoes, expecting to see Big Jim, but he wasn't at the table. Instead, another man knelt down beside me and said, "You look so pretty in that dress." I remember saying, with a little bit of a speech impediment, "I wore it to meet Big Jim Hamill, but he isn't here." The man said, "Would you like to meet Big Jim Hamill?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I would." That gentleman stood up. He extended his arm to that 7-year-old little girl and said, "Right this way. I'll take you to meet him." I could barely reach that arm, but I did the best I could to lock my arm in his as he took me backstage where Big Jim was resting before the show. It literally changed my life. It made me not only feel special, but for the first time I felt a part of what was going on in gospel music. That man was you, Mr. Reese. I've never forgotten it, and I've really never gotten over it. I walked in that night a Big Jim Hamill fan, and I left a Ray Dean Reese fan. So thank you, Mr. Reese, for your heart, for your kindness, and for sharing just a little time with a 7-year-old little girl who never forgot it. We're here today to honor you, and some of the greats have come together just for that. We hope you know and never forget just how special you are, Ray Dean Reese. We love you.
Hey, this is Wyatt Austin with the Inspirations Quartet. No doubt one of the most well-known names of gospel music is Ray Dean Reese. In my travels, I've gotten to become well acquainted with this legendary bass singer, and what an influence he has been to me. To say that he has been an encourager is a big understatement. From his kind words off stage to smacking me on stage, all of it has meant more to me than I can adequately describe. Ray, I love you, and I'm so thankful that you have influenced my life in such a positive way.
Yeah, this is Ed O'Neill, Dixie Melody Boys. I just want to call in and pay tribute to one of my best friends, Ray Dean Reese, bass singer with the Kingsmen Quartet. He's been there a long time. In fact, I don't remember how long. Probably seems like 100 years. But every time I've seen the Kingsmen in the last 40, 50 years has been Ray Dean singing bass. And he always done a great job. Now, I'm a bass singer, Ray was a bass singer, but I'll be honest with you, we're never competitive with our singing. We're only competitive when we played golf. And back in the old days, we played golf every time the bus stopped, it almost seemed like. And that was a very, very enjoyable thing. Ray Dean and I got along well. In fact, every Christmas time, a holiday when we'd take off for Christmas, we'd take the Kingsman bus, load up about 8 golfers, and go to Orlando, Florida for about 5 days and play. And boy, that was heaven on earth for a golfer. And Ray Dean and I stuck right together, buddy. We loved it, and it was just fun. And Ray, you're doing a great job, buddy. You have all through the years. And I just want to tell you I love you, and I appreciate you, and I wish you Godspeed. Bless you, buddy.
Hey everybody, this is Ian Owens with Tribute Quartet. Today we're taking some time to pay honor and tribute to an incredible man of God, an incredible legend of Southern gospel music, a bass singing monster, Mr. Ray Dean Reese himself. Been singing full time, serving the Lord for 55 years. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Before that, he served our country in the armed forces. Mr. Ray Dean is a man who knows how to sacrifice himself for others, for the call of his country, for the call of his Lord, for the call of the gospel, and to enrich your lives, the listener. I'm so proud to call Mr. Ray Dean friend. He's an incredible man, an incredible bass singer, and I love you dearly, Ray Dean. Y'all enjoy.
Hi, this is Claude Hopper. Ray Dean Reese has been a friend to me personally and our family for many, many years. I met him years ago, I think in the early 70s, and he was singing with a mixed group, singing bass, and I thought, I'd like to have him with our group. And then later he joined the Kingsmen, and the rest of it is history. One of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, and he's a great golfer. We love you.
Hey, this is Eric with Triumphant, and I've had a lot of influences in my life. When I was younger, George Yonts, Tim Riley, Mike Holcomb, all those were great influences in my life, but none any bigger than Ray Reese. I love Ray Dean Reese. He was when I was 15, 16 years old, he's really, listening to him with the Kingsmen really is the reason that I'm doing what I am doing today. I've told that pretty much everywhere I go. I absolutely love his voice. I heard him do a couple of live albums back in those days, and man, he just got me hooked. I love he's always been very personable, very helpful, very friendly, and just love Ray. Have the utmost respect for him. Thanks for all you do, Ray.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey Chapman of the Kingdom Heirs. I will never forget the first time I got to meet Ray Dean Reese. I was just a young teenage boy. I was singing with a group out of Houston, Texas called The Sound, and I'll never forget it. We were singing with the Kingsmen and Gold City and the Nealons, I believe, and I was testing my mic and everything, and Ray Dean Reese comes up behind me and grabs a hold of my shoulder and said, "Son, you don't need to be hitting those low notes like that. They'll hurt you." That was my first time meeting Ray, and it was an honor to meet him back then, and just been friends over these years, and I just thank God for him. He has just been a trooper. He stayed with the Kingsmen for so long and has just been an inspiration to a lot of people. I love him very much. I'm proud to call him my cousin, even though he's not my real cousin. He just calls everybody cousin. And I thank you, Brother Ray, for everything you've done, and I thank you for being an example of a great Christian man in gospel music, singing some great bass, and we love you with all of our hearts. Thank you. God bless you.
Hello, friends. This is Buddy Lyles of the Florida Boys Quartet. Would like to acknowledge an old friend of mine. We go way back, Ray Dean Reese of the Kingsmen. Ray Dean, our friendship is still lingering on. I keep in touch where you're at, where you're going to be, and so on. So keep up the good work and keep hitting those low does like we both always did down through the years. Appreciate you, Guy, and keep up the good work.
You know, the Bible speaks about wisdom in the book of Proverbs, and it says that it's better to get wisdom than gold, and that's exactly what I get when I'm just around Ray Dean Reese. Just to sit down and put on his thinking cap for just a minute, and just to take in everything that he had and has to give is a pretty amazing thing. One of the fondest times in my life, growing up as a kid and then into my teen years, every summer when I got out of school, I would get to go on the road with the Kingsmen Quartet for a few weeks on that bus. And walking on that bus and getting to hang out with a hero was something that this bass singer out here will never, ever forget. And from getting to help Ray with the product table and bringing things in inside that venue, from the bus bays to set up, to getting his microphone out of his protective case and carrying that microphone and putting it on the mic stand to watching him in action is something a little boy's dreams of becoming what he was and still is. Being a part of those small things were very big things to me, and also helping me carry out my own dream of being a bass singer in a quartet someday. Ray's presence and his spirit is just addictive for anyone to be around. And I'm so thankful that the Kingsmen Quartet gave me the opportunity to not only travel with them as a teenage boy in all their mightiness, but I'm thankful to be one of Ray's cousins, because if you know, you know. Thank you, Ray, for being such a huge influence to so many people, especially this Alabama country boy.
Well, we have a special guest with us now. It's none other than Mr. Ray Dean Reese himself. Mr. Reese, we've had a good time this morning honoring the Kingsmen and honoring you. There's none any more worthy than you, Mr. Reese.
Well, you're so kind, and I appreciate your words of encouragement and what you have said, and it's such an honor for. I feel so humble that you are doing this today, but I thank you so much. Thanks to all of my friends that have participated, and I just love. Well, first of all, I love the Lord. Second of all, I love gospel music. And I want to thank you for doing this for me and with me. I'm just overwhelmed.
Well, I want to ask you this morning before we leave, do you have an all-time favorite Kingsman song that we could play for you before we go this morning, Mr. Reese?
Yes, I do. Two favorite songs. I have so many in my 55-year history with the Kingsmen, but there's two that I really love to do and are my favorite. Number one is the one I did with the Kingsmen on Chattanooga Live, called The Old Ship of Zion. I love that song. And another one is a song that we do periodically on our program nowadays, which is called The Eastern Gate. So I love those songs.
Well, I can't think of a better way to end this tribute than with those two songs, Mr. Reese.
I'm just overwhelmed.